I've been looking into this camera now for at least 5 minutes without saying a word. It's probably more than 5 minutes, but that's the minimum estimate. Might as well just press record and start talking. This video is unplanned, unscripted, just off my head. Initially, the plan was not to record any videos again till after I'm done with my exams, to try and focus on last minute preparations. It's just next week. Now, today, I find myself telling myself, okay, it's time to go and work out and record. I don't have any issue with working out and recording. Circumstances just not happening today. Not just because of the original plan not to do it, but because of current circumstances today. It's just not happening today. So I decided to put something out there. That's just how I am. And if I say I'm going to record this and post this, if I can't do it, I feel like I need to put something else out there. So that is where this one is coming from. And because it is so unplanned and I didn't prepare for anything to say beforehand. So pardon me, but this video might be a lot of me staring into the window because I didn't really plan what to say. But sitting in front of the camera, like I said, for at least 5 good minutes, if not more, stayed into it so long, it kind of went off. When your screen, you're not using your screen and it just goes black, it just switches off, like to save power. Your camera stays longer when it's on, and imagine your camera being on so long. It's not recording, but it has been on so long, it just goes black on its own. That means that was how much time I spent without pressing record. So going back to it, standing in front of the camera and telling myself, okay, now that I'm not working out, what can I talk about today now? Because I don't just want to come and talk about my life story, man. Something that will help everybody. So what can I talk about now? The only thing that was coming to my head was, why did you start bodybuilding? So, and then why did you start, and what is keeping you going at this point? So yeah, the real video starts here, man. So why did you start bodybuilding, and then what's keeping you going? And quick digression, why you started something might not be the reason that is keeping you going. There are two different things. You might have started something for something else, now you're doing it for another different reason. Trust me. That's why, in a way, motivation is kind of, I won't say it's bullshit, but it's quite helpful. But relying on it is quite, because the reason that made you start, that made you so excited, might no longer be there. You might be a different person down the line, because in as much as people don't really change so much, people do change sometimes, and your values might change, your character might change, the kind of person you are as a whole might change. So whatever inspired you at the beginning to start might no longer be there, or might no longer hold any value to you further down the line. So coming back now to bodybuilding, I don't know about you, I don't know about other guys, but I know about myself, because I can only talk for myself. But I know the reason why I started bodybuilding was because of girls, babes, chicks, females, women, whatever you want to call them. Back when I was in uni, 100 level, I had this friend. It was quite buff, was quite jacked for my fellow set mates. I was just there 100 level student, fresher, first year in uni. And then one day, I was just walking around the school trying to get myself familiar with the surroundings and the buildings. Then I ended up entering a building called the auditorium. It's like a place where they hold meetings, even though it was quite small, sure. Then at the entrance to the auditorium, towards your right, there was a little space, a little rectangular space or something like that, where the school, that's where you find it outside, where the school kept, there was, they had some machines, the school had some gym equipment there, sure. Not proper standard ones, but it was enough. It was enough for me, at least at that point as a beginner. So, chill. So, I entered into that rectangular space with the equipment, and I see my friend there, the one that's jacked. I see him there walking out, you know, shirts is off, everything. I was like, this guy is BU. Like, be like, then I entered inside now. I started playing around, not really playing, but just testing everything out, small. While he was on the main machine, there was a bicycle there. I was just pedaling on it, I didn't really come there with any intent. I didn't even know it existed, so I was just doing my thing basically. Then 3 girls came in. One of them was a family friend of mine. I knew her way back since secondary school, just one. Our parents knew each other from time, so she came in with her 2 friends. Then she looked at me and she was like, Obina, you used to work out. In my head, knowing I've never done shit before, I was like, yeah, I used to work out. Then my friend on the other hand, he was still doing his own thing in the corner. Then I noticed something, I'm quite, maybe it's because maybe it's because I'm a very quiet guy. I don't know if other quiet people are like this, but me personally, I'm very, very, very observant. Not just observant, but what's this word? Empathetic, yeah. It's wonderful. I think I'm an empath. Empathy, it comes from the word empathy, like, okay, let me use accent, let me use phone and say it now. Empathy. So, okay, maybe it's far-fetched to say I'm an empath, but I think I'm in that direction because, like I said, very observant and, in the direction of an empath, I can kind of look at the surroundings and pick up on things that other people won't really pick up on, like social cues. Even though I'm a very introverted person, social cues and just the way other people are feeling, not just the way they are feeling, but the way they are feeling towards other people. Like, I can kind of see a fight coming before it starts. If 2 guys are talking, just from the way one person is talking to another, I can kind of tell that it won't be long before a fight starts. If things keep on the way they're going, like I can just tell, and every time I'm correct. I don't know if other people are like this, or maybe it's just me, but I can see 2 people talking, and the way they are talking, the way one person talks to the other, and their body language, the way they are speaking, I can tell that things are about to, go down this way, or this way, or this way. So that's just how I am, man. So one of her friends, going back to the story now, one of her friends, my family friend, all of them were girls, 2 of them. One of her friends, I saw the way she was looking at my friend, or my guy. So the way she was looking at him. And in my head, the way she was looking at that guy, it was like lost, basically. When you're just eyeing someone and you're oblivious to every other thing around you. You're just focused on the thing in front of you that you want. That was how she was looking at him, and it was kind of like she didn't even, she was staring, but at the same time she didn't care because he, like he, my friend, he had taken her entire attention. She was lost, basically. She was lost in him. So when I saw her, the way she was eyeing him, my head, I was like, fuck, that's really something. So I mean, don't get me wrong, he's a handsome guy. He's a very handsome guy, but I know that deep down, the main reason why she was eyeing him like that was because of his build, his physique. Like I said, for someone turns out he had been working way back since secondary school, but for someone in my level, our level, 100 level, to look the way he did, because back then he looked very, very good, man. I wouldn't say he has fallen off, but sure. Basically, man, when I look back, I was like, shit. So someone can just look a certain way, and because of the way you look, people just, look at you differently, treat you differently, not just her looking at him differently, than the way they would look at me back then. People also treat you differently when you look differently. There's, I don't know if it's, I can't really quote it word for word, but there was a study, maybe a research, that the results of the research was that basically people who look good, like, let's say like handsome guys, beautiful ladies, beautiful girls, people who are good looking are much, much less likely to be suspected of being bad, of doing something bad. If you put two people in a room, one is ugly, one is beautiful, handsome, and you tell them, who do you think is much more likely to commit crime? Most people will pick the uglier person. If you tell them, who do you think is much, much likely to do something good? Most people will take the person that is much more beautiful, much more handsome, much more good looking. Why? Because for some reason humans just associate looking good with being good, like facially, and then if you look good physically as well, I think that's like a bonus. But I'm mostly talking about bodybuilding here. So I noticed that I think from that point I started going with him to the gym sometimes when I could, and I noticed that the amount of times this guy was stopped on the road, not by guys, by girls. It was mind blowing, man. It was, I can't lie, it was very, for me, it was very, very oppressive because you're walking with someone and let's say every 2 minutes, one girl is coming up to you guys. Not because of me, but to go and stop him to like, I don't even know, not just our level, but girls above us, like in higher class. Let's say we're in 100 now, girls in 2, 3, even 4. So my head was like, I mean, I know this guy is fine and all, but facially he's okay, but I know that deep down is his physique, man. Because for a 100 level student, that guy was quite big. Like he had very, very wide lats, so he gave him that V look that people love so much, especially girls. Like girls love that shit, man. So I knew that it was his physique. So all these things in my head was like, maybe if I look more like this guy, maybe I can get the results he's getting. And I did. I can't lie, I did. I got it. I got the body, not quite like his own, but in some aspects better than his own. And I got some of the results he did. But yeah, just the sum of everything was why I started bodybuilding on a whole was because of yours, man. I won't say I liked the way, but I saw the way that girl, my family friend, was looking at my friend, and I thought to myself, I want girls to look at me that way too. So I started bodybuilding. That was just it, man. That was how I started, And that was my ginger for some time, early stages. Then I think fast forward to around 200/300 level, because it wasn't just something that you snap and then your reason changes. It's kind of the transition. You don't just your mindset doesn't just shift all of a sudden. Maybe it does, but for me at least, it was kind of a transition. I kind of transitioned from, okay, this is why I started. This was what, pushed me on those early days to this is why I'm doing it now currently. This is what is sustaining me. And I've had many reasons, plenty over the years. But like I said, it first started with girls, man. That was the initial motivation. Then it now kind of graduated into, okay, I'm not a beginner anymore. I want to start taking this thing seriously. Because in my 100 level back then, even that stuff like the girls on its own was not really enough to ginger me to stay consistent because I was very inconsistent in my 100 level. It was around 200. Like I said, the transition started getting much more consistent. And back then, the motivation was I'm no longer a beginner in this thing. So I actually want to see gains from this thing because I just want to see gains, man. I just want gains. I want to get bigger. So I started taking it seriously. At that point, even though, don't get me wrong, the main motivation was not just girls. At this point too, it was I just want to get bigger. I just want to get bigger. I'm trying to organize my thoughts here. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So don't get me wrong, the initial motivation was girls, and then it kind of transitioned to I just want gains. It doesn't mean that girls stopped being the ginger to do it. I don't think they ever will stop being. As I'm talking to you now, girls are still the ginger. Like it's still enough to motivate me, but it's just not the main thing. That's what I'm trying to say. It was what got me down the path. It was what made me to start. It's still one of the reasons why I do it, but it's just not the main thing. And I think that's the main reason why I'm making this video. It's okay if you started because of girls. I don't think it's a bad thing. But then I think it kind of becomes, I won't really say a problem, but I think you can do better if the reason why you're still continuing is because of girls. If you're a beginner, you're just starting, fine and good, okay, I kind of understand. But further down the line, let's say 2 years, 3 years into working out, and like I said, that was a transition for me. You kind of realize that, as much as you started to try and impress girls, at this point now, you've kind of unknowingly you started building an identity around the gym, around working out, around weightlifting, around bodybuilding. A part of your self-identity is tied to that thing. So for you to not take it serious, it's kind of like an insult. I don't really know if I'm saying this well, but for me, okay, personally now, for me, I think the main reasons why I work out now, in as much as first and foremost, I want to get big. Yes, that is the main reason, because if I didn't want to get big, I would never bother lifting in the first place. So that is the destination, that is the main reason I want to get bigger. Then I think apart from that, another core reason, not the main one, but just as big as the main one, but not the main thing why I'm doing it. Another core reason, I think at this point, that's like the most driving force. It's even some days, it's even what drives me more. I can't lie, I swear, because some days, this one I'm about to say now is what drives me more than just wanting to get big. Because wanting to get bigger is like a goal. It's just there, and as you know, goals are, everybody has goals, but having a goal is one thing. Actually acting on it to achieve it is another different problem. So the main thing is the goal. That is the destination. That is the biggest of them all. But then to me, the most important reason why I work out is for, I can kind of, okay, let me just say that the most important reason why I work out is, you can kind of group all of them together. Peace of mind, self-respect. Yeah, I think that's it, man. That's just I kind of tied two of them together. Peace of mind in the sense that you wake up, you go about your day, it's time to work out. You told yourself, okay, today I'll work out, and then you don't work out. Do you think when you're going to sleep that night, do you think your mind will be completely at peace? Maybe for you, yes, but for me, I'm talking about me now. Not really, man. It doesn't work like that for me. Maybe it's because of the way I've programmed myself or wired myself through years of thinking like this. But if I tell myself I'm going to do something, now then, and I don't end up doing it, I can't sleep with peace of mind in the night unless I do that thing, then go and sleep. Because if I don't do that thing, I'm still I won't sleep. I won't sleep with peace of mind. So, and then it now goes into self-respect as well. If you respect yourself enough, you will do what you said you would do. And I think that's just it for me, man. I tell myself I'll work out anytime it comes to work out. If I have any ounce of respect for myself and for the words that come out of my mouth, when that time comes to work out, I have to work out because, like, I'm not I'm not trying to be the guy that just says I'll do it and then ends up not doing it, going back on his word. That's not the kind of person I want to be. So, like I said, the main reason for working out, like the goal, because without the goal, without the destination, there won't be a journey in the first place. So the main thing is getting bigger. Then the second one, to me, even more important, because that is what drives me on a day-to-day basis. That is like the fuel. Kind of like that is like my fuel for doing what I do on a daily basis. It's peace of mind at night and self-respect, man. I think as much as you can, we all, not just you, all of us. I know it's hard, but as much as we can, we should all try and optimize our lives for self-respect, man. Do you really respect yourself? Do you tell yourself you do this and then you do it? Do you go back on your word? Like, all these things kind of increase your respect for yourself or decrease it. So, that's a question only you can answer. So yeah, that's the main reason. And that's the second reason, but the most driving force for me. And then apart from that, we have other smaller reasons, like girls. In as much as when I first started bodybuilding, that was the main thing. Now it's like another. I won't really say it's a small reason because it's still big, obviously. I think if you're a straight guy, girls are going to be a big part of your life, man. So it's still big, but not as big as the other two I just mentioned. And then we have other small reasons like wanting to be the biggest person, like it's a flex if you know that every time you step out of your house and you're going about your day, you're the biggest person. You say, like, not just your fat, but like you have muscle mass. So it's kind of a flex. Or else looking good naked if you're trying to move better sexually. That's a reason too for some guys as well. What else? If you want to feel more safe, because I can't lie, that is another. Someone should open gates for this girl now. Sure, I can't lie, that's another reason for me wanting to feel more safe. Because I don't know about you, but I feel like sometimes when I'm beside someone that is bigger than me, I feel I feel kind of scared. Like, if this person gets angry now and they decide to fight, and maybe decide to fight each other, based on size alone, I don't have a fucking chance. So, wanting to feel safe by getting bigger is another reason. I think not just for me, man. I think for a lot of guys as well. You feel safer when you're bigger. I don't know if it makes sense, but that's the way I see it, man. So yeah, I think all these things are quite psychological, man. I think that's also why taller people, bigger people find it easier to speak their mind than smaller people. Because if you're the biggest person in the room, you can just say what you want with less fear of anyone challenging you. Because I think ultimately, if someone challenges you, ultimately it's boiled down to, okay, let's fight. whoever wins the fight is right. And if you say your mind and you're the biggest person in the room, every other person around you is smaller than you, and it boils down to you fighting them, you're quite confident that I can take this guy, he's smaller than me, I can beat him. But if you're small, like the smallest person in the room, you'll be much more hesitant to speak your mind, because what if the bigger guy disagrees with you and in that boils into fighting? There's a high chance you drop your father, because physically, primarily, and like psychologically, like all these things are paramount. He's bigger than you, so in terms of size, just size alone, it might fuck you up. Unless you're a martial artist, like black belt, UFC, all those stuff, but just based on size alone, he will fuck you up. So, which other reason is there that makes me want to gym? Yeah, probably more. Like if I sit down, I can think of other small reasons, but I think I've listed the main ones for me at least. I've told you the top two, getting big, and then the most important one, is peace of mind and self-respect. Two of them go hand in hand. Then other ones like babes, wanting to feel more safer, wanting to look better, other things like that. Sure. So yeah, man, that's basically it. This video is entering 30 minutes. I don't think I'm going to. Okay, I think I might edit it a bit, just cut out some places where I was just doing so I need to cut out those parts. But overall, considering how I felt before I press record, I think I've done good so far. As much as sometimes, it feels like I'm not doing enough. I'm quite behind in life, when I walk around, I see everyone with their cars and shit like that. I'm like, fuck, when will it be my turn, But considering how I felt, my mental state of mind before I press record on this, and considering how the video has turned out, I think I've done alright for today at least. So in terms of content creation, I think I've done okay for myself today. So yeah, man, I genuinely hope you watch the full video. As much as everyone's attention span, not everyone, but as much as attention is such a rare commodity nowadays, and it's getting much harder to focus on one thing. I genuinely hope you watched everything, not just you clicked on it and then you clicked off, even though you probably did. There's a very low chance that you will watch up to this point, because this is still fairly a new channel, and you're not really likely to click on something that has a very low amount of views. Like this video probably will get, so you might never even see this. But yeah, I'm just saying it, for whatever reason. So yeah, man. But for those of you that actually watched it to this part, maybe later on in the future, if this video is still on the internet, I genuinely appreciate all of you. So yeah, man, thanks for watching. It means a lot, I can't lie. Any small encouragement I see goes a long way in keeping me on this path, making me less likely to say, let me just stop and do something else myself, man. So yeah, genuinely appreciate you watching. You, not all of you, like just you, whoever it is that's watching. Really appreciate you, man. So thanks. It's getting dark. Should be around 6 p.m. now. 6:20 p.m. I have nothing else to say. Did I work out today? No. And I won't feel guilty about this one, because I told myself beforehand I won't do it. So it's much more better when I tell myself I will do it, and then when the time comes, I don't do it. So that one is much more easier for myself, because I tell myself, okay, I won't do it anyways. Not when I tell myself I'll do it and then I don't do it. That's when I start to kind of basically, what's the word? Sometimes get hard on myself, like insult myself, like look at you guy very so like that's just how I am. I'm quite an extreme guy, so very extreme. So yeah, man. I don't want to just keep on saying yeah, man. I really have nothing else to say. But yeah, thanks for watching. Stay safe, stay busy, and I'll see you in the next one.